Hey everybody. Uh, I'm home. I'm sick. I don't know. I got a cold or something. Doesn't feel like the flu. God, I can't remember the last time I've ever gotten the flu. But I get colds every now and then, and this one's pretty nasty. I mean, in all fairness, it's 31 degrees out. Well, at least, okay, it's 44. It was 31 at 6 in the morning. Oh my. It's not the best of days. Yeah, I really don't feel much better than I was last night. So I'm probably not going to do too much. I'm actually going to try to go to my chess club tonight. I wanted to start holding it on Mondays in addition to Wednesdays. I've got a lot of stuff I can do here. I mean, I can play this, anticipating a fork to play a fork. Well, that's not so good, because that would leave my bishop hanging. I could do this. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do in this game. I'll just deal with that later. That's just annoying. So he's got it into position with his bishop here. You know, that would probably be the move. You'd have to do something like that. Once I've got his... Whoops. Yeah, that looks like the best move. Poor guy. It's John Tyler, Gabriel. John. People see it as Jean. Almost everyone from America. It's Jean. It's French. For John. It's the name of my uncle. If I had a son, I'd want to name him Henri, which is Henry in French. Henry is my grandfather. My uncle Jean, or John's father, actually. So anyway, I'm used to that, but it's just annoying. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna play a live game for you all. Try it on chess.com. Aries ascending. Their rising sign is Aries, and they've disabled the chat. So this is the closed Sicilian. That's kind of atypical to castle so early and quite literally out of sequence. I mean, I need to make a few moves before I could even castle at all. You typically castle right behind your opponent, or before, whether or not you have tempo. And to castle so early, though not necessarily less prudent, it just seems a little odd. Castling is an under-tempo move. It's usually why it's reserved to do just after your opponent. Under-tempo response to an under-tempo move. But in doing it out of sequence, I was able to push my pawn at g6, which is slightly under-tempo. But of course that anticipates a fianchetto of my bishop to g7. So now that's typical Sicilian center play. Alright, now I've got an option here. I can capture with my pawn, or I can capture with my bishop. You know, I'm going to try the bishop. It's a little odd. Sorry, like I said, I'm getting a cold. Or I guess I have one at this point. Oh well. I have a neat move with queen to h4, targeting the h2 square, which is supported by my dark squared bishop. Seems kind of odd. I wonder if you made a mistake. Oh, I see where he's going with that. I like that. I get to reconnect my pawn. It's no longer isolated on the D file, it's now connected on the E file to the pawn at F7. Though undeployed, still on a connected file. That's cheeky. Give him some credit, that's pretty impressive. Oh well. I'm not gonna bother extending this one. I thought I was doing well in that game. He impressed me. I'm gonna have to look at that. You know, I'm not a grandmaster. You know, maybe I would have seen that coming. I was very surprised by that. This guy's taking his time. I've got a nasty cold, ladies and gentlemen. It's rather typical. I mean, it's October, near the end of October. I almost always get a cold, like just at beginning of it getting a little cold. Because, see, it gets suddenly cold and dry after it's been very damp and humid, and it just kills me. It just messes me up. I'll be fine for the rest of the season. Don't get me wrong. I won't get sick at all. It's like I get this out of the way. I mean, I don't, personally. Some deciding factor other than me does. He has spent an odd amount of time in the opening here. You know, it's situations like this that make me wonder if my opponent is cheating using a chess engine. Yes, it happens in live games. It happens a lot in correspondence games. The longer the time setting, the more time they have to cheat. I think it's silly. All of those moves happened in a reasonable time, but anyone would have done them. Now he's like, I don't know what to do, so he's checking his chess engine again, maybe. Sorry, I like it when it's like 12-12 or 11-11. I take screenshots of it. Lame, I know. I wasn't paying attention. Oh well. I should kind of enjoy situations like this. I have a nice little fork coming up here at e6. Yeah, I can turn, a mistake into advantage. It's important to be able to adapt, especially in chess. No one's going to play perfect all the time. I'm not made of silicon. I'm made of meat and electricity. I'm no computer. And even a computer may not work perfectly all the time. Mistakes are part of the human condition. They can occur for a number of different reasons or variables. We try to minimize those variables to minimize the instances of mistakes in humanity in humans. But they happen, I have a cold, I'm just a little foggy, The fact this guy is taking a while right now means he's probably analyzing this position. He probably already sees the fork, but, even the threat of a fork is like a piece on pre. It obliges your opponent to make a move to compensate against the tactic trying to be implemented, so it gains you a little tempo, even by the threat of the fork. Yes, I'm down a piece proper, but give me a couple tempo here and there, or tempi. See, he moved his queen. That doesn't help him, though. He lost his queen. So I recovered quite substantially there. This will be a fun game. I have 16 minutes. That's more. Oh, he resigned. Okay. I'm actually quite happy to show you that, considering I made a mistake. Pretty much a blunder. I mean, dropping a whole piece like that's a blunder. But then I came back to win with over-aggressive play, which was, under the wraps anyway, if you will. I would have been able to do that had I not blundered, making that win even more swift, perhaps. Alright, here we have the Sicilian defense for black against white's e4, which according to Bobby Fischer is best by test. And what he means, it's the best opening move for white based on a number of games showing its statistical prowess, if you will. Best by test. That's what that means. It's the best opening move for white by looking at a bunch of games and seeing that it does the best. As opposed to something like d4, which would probably be the runner-up. Oh, there's d4. So now we capture. Now this is like an offset counter game. He may take back with his queen. I'll attack with my knight. Just like that. Now that puts white off tempo. So that's not good for white. That's a poor play, an opening decision. Now he's got to move the queen. He's going to drop tempo. Probably just a half tempo, but that's enough time for me to do anything I like playing knight to f6 perhaps, or opening one of my center pawns, e5, for example. I think I'm going to do the pawn. That's almost free development. Mostly it is, but I say almost just to err on the side of caution. I know an air fawn. That's actually interesting. He doesn't play chess, as far as I know. Alright, now, that's not a bad move for white. But again, he's just slightly under tempo. So I'm going to do a straight knight response. I could have also played d6. I told you he's slightly under tempo, so d6 is a good move. Because it's slightly under tempo. So it's a good opportunity to play it, but I can play it before or after or at the time I decided. Here I'm going to do it after the knight move, and it's still got that tempo initiative, if you will. I mean, he would play knight to c3 would be good, bishop to e2, bishop to c4, bishop to b5, bishop to d2, knight b to d2, you know, fianchettoing. Okay, there we go. Knight to c3, which I did suggest. Now I'm going to play my bishop to b4 and pin that knight. Now again, bishop to d2 would be a good idea for white. Not necessary, because yes, there's a pin. The queen does support the knight on the third rank. The knight at c3, that is. Playing the bishop to d2 would relieve the pin, and that's what he does. Oh, this one's interesting. Alright, so if I play queen to a5, I apply pressure. Let's give this a try. I'm free to castle. White still needs to develop its kingside bishop before castling. Sort of obligates me to castle. Sorry, guys. uh, so this interplay, like around the pawn at e5, is controlled. Yes, white's knight attacks, mine defends, my knight at c6. Queens are on the same rank, so they oppose each other. The bishop at c4 presents a threat at f7, but there's really nothing they can do about it just yet. It's not a bad developmental move. I can fianchetto my bishop to b7 to support that diagonal. I'm also 3.5 minutes ahead. It's pretty considerable. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like pawn to a3. Alright, that's a mistake on his part. Now, if he takes it with the rook, I have a nice fork at knight to e4. Just gonna sit here for a little bit. I just want to look at this. Now, whenever you have a situation like this where you fork a major piece with another one, forcing one to move, in this case the queen, it's always a good idea to see if you can continue movement on the major piece, in this case the queen, and get her to move more into danger, so capturing the other piece, in this case the rook, can be done free, if you will, with no exchange. Considering his knight at f3 has that piece covered, I'm not so sure I can do this. For example, I can play pawn to g6. Oh, no, that was a mistake. Because now he can... Yeah, see, now he can take the knight. That was a mistake. Let's see if he sees that. That was a mistake on my part. Yeah. Yeah, I messed that up. And you know, I thought about that. You know, sorry, not on my game. I'll still pick up the rook, but it's going to cost me a bishop. Queen takes bishop, knight takes knight check, and then my queen could take the rook at d2. Terrible. I could have done this better, but I told you I have a cold. I'm not on my game here, but this is a good example of how to recover from a mistake. So 2 rooks for a rook and a bishop. Still okay, but he can't pick up a pawn. No, he can't. The pawn at d7 is defended. At least I should have done this better. So much better. I do like his nasty little pawn structure. You know, I should go back and annotate this to see if this was actually a neat little line. I don't think it would have been, but considering I got him on time, you know, I mean, 14 minutes to almost 7. That seems fairly obvious. I would hope. Am I missing something? I don't think so. This one may end on time. I'm just gonna play it easy. Ooh. I can do it. Nah. See, the 4 key has a d5 with his bishop. Yeah, see, I can get rid of it like this, but he now still has an attacker on f7. We're gonna work with it. That wasn't a good move. He can just take that with his bishop. Oh, he doesn't. So I have mate in 1 with rook to h5. That's it, folks. We're going to do another one. Oh. Oh, sorry. Sorry. My stupid phone, when I pick it up, like, oh, it's sideways. So that's really odd. I mean, this whole opening right here is pretty atypical to begin with. I can do a little poor play here, capture knight with bishop, and then take the pawn, just to pick up a pawn. But oh, he moves the pawn. Wow. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna give that to that guy. That I have to look at that one again. That was impressive. Basic checkmate. I just was blinded. I didn't see it coming. You know, it happens. That's the thing, man. This is real deal. This is real life. This is not scripted. This is me playing. Here I am in a live game. I got a cold. I'm not saying that's the reason I lost, but you know, like, this is it. This is the real life. Not scripted, you know. I'm not playing around. So there was a loss, a bona fideable loss, you know. Okay, now Mate Vision's taking a little time on his second move, which is a little odd. So I'm going to play for what's called the Petrov trap. If he captures my pawn with his knight, I threaten said knight with my queen. Ah, he's not going to do it. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing here. Yeah, I'm waiting on this guy. Sorry, guys. Oh. Now he can push the knight away right away. Yeah, you know, I realize that. So I'm playing around that. Let me think about this. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm trying to find something massive. I'm just gonna play wild. Damn. Forgot about the night. I'm sorry, guys. I screwed this one up. I'm gonna try something desperate. Keep your opponent's pieces on pre, as many of them as you can with one move. You capture 2, I on pre 2. You know, stuff like that. Here his knight and his rook are both on pre. I don't have any isolated pawns. I mean, I may not win this. Probably not. I'm down 4 points of material, but we can put up a good fight. I'm only down 1 point now. Interesting, right? This is totally experimental. I mean, if I lose this, I don't care. I'm just playing around here. I might go for a draw. I don't often do that. That might not have been best. No, it looks pretty strong. Whatever. I don't think I have this one, guys. Sorry.